I think the best way to find out is by getting into the game and seeing exactly what we get out of paiN Gaming. Vertigo is our first map, a map we haven't seen from RGB as of late, other than in the qualifier, so pressure's on.
Yeah, you know, for me, paiN, reason this is so exciting is you've got like a mixture of guys who all have been like around the BR scene for a long while, and we're in teams where like players have maybe gone on to do well, but not them, right? They kind of, you know, they've always been floating around, but they've never had that breakout moment. I think you've got a bunch of them together, and they're looking to finally have it, and that's something, you know, that's kind of a nice romantic storyline we can all get involved in. Let's take a look at this pistol round, right? Out in towards the A-bomb site for paiN. You do have, you know, the rotation starting to come through. Still a B-site player for RGB, who's a little out of the action, but he is starting to come around now. And that bomb isn't planted yet, so you know, as it runs across into the site, trying to plug in the numbers, all this time wasted allows Chop to get up close and deny that bomb plant.
That's a smooth little move there. Cover will be here, though, this time around. Now the plant allowed, and Wiz on the flank as well as the insurance policy. Hardzao going back for that kill, does get it. And they're going to hunt him down, try and peek him at the same time, but it's not enough. Hardzao locking it in and taking the pistol round for paiN.
Oh, what a sequence as well. I feel like RGB did a really good job there going for the trades, but snappy aim. Here we go, replay again. We see here going for the trade, a little bit slow here, but crisp aim nonetheless.
Yeah, all headshots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wonder if maybe Wiz could have bought a little bit of time there. Perhaps, I don't know. But certainly not one you want to stew on as we go into a slight tech pause.
Yeah, these retakes are very difficult at the A site, right? Like, obviously, we see the gun rounds can often come down to a lot of spray, a lot of, you know, utility fights, just lobbing in those re-smokes and nading bomb.
You mean
plants,
the only bomb site
defuse.
this map has? You mean A?
Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? But that being said, we've seen more variants over time with teams, you know, coming up with execute smokes on you know, the B site. I think Big have been a really good team. Like, we always talk about the utility and the people behind that in that org, like GodB, who have always come up with great grenades. But, you know, they're a team that I've always liked watching on this map because they stray away from the meta. They stray away from that A site, and they throw in these full executes on B that can, you know, I think post-plants on this map are very difficult for CTs, regardless of the bomb site, in, you know, even scenarios, at least in numbers. So, yeah, you know, you can't account for that 1v3 clutch, but that bomb is very helpful indeed.
That's why I mentioned using Inferno as the example there. We talk about utility and, as you pointed out here, Hugo, of retaking the bomb sites. That's what you want to... Obviously, it's set rounds and it's specialized rounds as well, but for CTs, when you do these retakes, you need a lot of utility to make that happen, especially on that A bomb site. You know, molly over sandbags, a bunch of smokes, right? You can do it a little bit minor with an expo flash, but in most cases there, if you do find yourself in a 4-on-4, 5-on-5, Ts tend to have a big advantage. So yeah, it's a lot with, it's a very one-dimensional map in a sense that sure you end up going mostly A, but it's to get to that point nowadays, as you point out, with, you know, you have teams like Big, even teams like NIP, the teams that tends to play this map a lot utilizes a lot more B and a lot more mid. Even if they do end up falling back to the ace a lot, it's just more so like figuring out, you know, the moments in which that would happen and actually reading the game fully.
Yeah, I actually think NIP are one of the best teams at retaking it on the A site on this map on CT side. Like, they were one of the first teams. I remember when this version of Vertigo, the final version, so it seems, came out. They managed to take, you know, Australis down. I don't want to say in their prime, but last year, you know, before things started to get a bit hairy. And in doing so in Pro League 2 seasons back, they had some really, really nice retake utility that is now pretty much meta on the map. So yeah, I like Vertigo. I don't know what you think, Robin. A lot of people don't like it, especially players, and I can understand why. But what do you make of it? You a fan?
I think it's the same thing, right? Like, people are always saying it's the same thing with Cobble and Overpass when they first came out, right? And I think people just don't like new things. Don't get me wrong, Vertigo, when it first came out, it definitely needed a lot of changes, and yes. I still think to this day it is a very kind of flat map. Like, you kind of know what to expect from the map, at least from what we've seen. But at the same time, I also think it's a very unique map. It's not something we've seen very, you know, We haven't seen that, you know, from CS before. So I like just, you know, them trying out some new things. Would I rather see, you know, we go back and we talk about the Mirages and the Trains and the Ancients and stuff like that. You know, I would like us to get to a point where we are maybe actively, maybe once a year, changing out the map cycle and getting back to older maps a little bit to kind of get back the playstyle that we saw. Because Cobblestone got a lot of edits, right? Got a lot of fixes. Overpass still in play to this day, but there's a lot of good maps out there.
That's why I'm ambivalent about the whole, you know, Ancient debate, because it's like, on the one hand, sure, I don't really vibe with Ancient, right? You know, but on the other hand, and like, I definitely didn't want to see Train go. But on the other hand, I think sometimes you do have to just rip the Band-Aid off, because if you leave it to the pros and leave it to the community, we'll all do what's best for us. And what's best for us is to stick to the status quo, right? And stick to what you know. But there's a load of maps I miss. I wish we could get to a point where maybe we had sort of 2 distinct seasons, and maybe actually we swapped 2 maps out as opposed to doing one, you know, every year.
To your point as well, just touch on briefly about the maps. I fully understand that certain maps are harder to play than others. Yeah, maybe there are maps, if I were to ever play matchmaking, I would probably avoid just solely for that reason. But at the same time, I also feel like it's a bad excuse, because what does that mean? Does that mean that in the future we're all just getting, you know, pale maps like, you know, the Mirages, you know, very linear, you know, one-sided maps? I feel like there needs to be more education than in that purposes, right? There's a reason for why people are not playing the specific maps. You know, it's very easy, you know, to just say that you don't like the map, right? But it comes back to you probably don't feel comfortable about it. You probably don't want to learn the nades. There needs to be more things like that, I feel like, added into the game to kind of just help people get a good understanding for what they're up against. Even if it comes to difficulty rating, Dust 2 Mirage, easy difficulty to learn. You know, you learn the map a little bit harder. Maybe you get to a point where you unlock Train because it's a difficult map to learn and it requires you to know some more things. But yeah, I mean, the longer it goes by, I think the more and more maps will get added. And yeah, I do think it is a natural next step to kind of get to a point where it is a little bit more seasonal.
Yeah, yeah, jump in, Harry.
Oh,
please.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to expand on that a little bit and just say that, like, my hope is from playing Ancient right now, to me, it plays like a Dust 2, like a Mirage, in that there's not very much verticality, right? Like, it's a lot of just kind of, you know, like hallways, very, very flat map with not a lot in terms of, you know, like you think about maps like Vertigo, Overpass, Nuke, where there is this element of verticality. Yeah.
So interesting.
And you know, you look at like the history of Valve adding maps, you know, you got like your Overpasses, your Cobbles, your Vertigos. These are very vertical, very detailed, and probably on the harder end of the spectrum to learn. I hope that what's happening with Ancient is like they're perfecting maybe a new like flat map is what we always call them, right? They're perfecting a new one of them for one of the more casual players. And then, you know, maybe you could look to sub that in for these iconic, you know, Mirages, your Dusts, the maps that are really popular and easy to play and anyone can pick up and do it. Because I hope what doesn't happen is like if Valve, they love going by the numbers, Valve do, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Train was the least played map. Mirage is the most played map, so Mirage wasn't going anytime soon. I just hope that that isn't how they lean into it forever from now on, or else I think you're going to lose a lot of these vertical maps. I think you're going to lose, you know, your Nukes, your Vertigos, and you're going to end up with basic, simple, you know, flat maps to replace them. I hope instead it's all teeing it up to replace, you know, either Dust or Mirage.
Keep hoping.
Yeah.
Well, everyone wants those maps out. I actually think, you know, this is a hugely controversial opinion. I've never met a caster at this stage in the career because the map's been like ubiquitous ever since Counter-Strike came out. I don't think I've met a caster who goes, oh yeah, Dust 2, brilliant, you know, because it's like you do sort of see the same kind of game over and over again. But for me, I think the map always serves up a good match. I think Mirage always serves up a good match. I'd miss them if they weren't in the pool. I mean, maybe the answer is to just have a never-ending expanding map pool. That's what we need, like Heroes in Dota or something.
Yeah,
I can
the
understand.
map bans are taking like 6 hours as they ban through a catalog of 580 maps.
Some people say like 9 maps, but I do get why that's way too many for players, especially, and that would just complicate everything. But I think what Robin said about how like seasons would be nice, right? Like every major swap a map, or every player break every year. So once a year,
or even every 2 majors. Yeah, like once a year you just change change a map, and then
yeah.
I also think as well it's a little bit criminal because the CS:GO like community of map makers, of skin makers, you know, all this stuff, so incredibly talented, man. Like if you go to the workshop and you go through the list of maps that exist, it is mind-blowing how many of these things are made and how many of them are actually good. And I always think like with a bit more help, with a bit more exposure, you know, like we might have already had a future, you know, overpass or a future nuke in the map pool that no one bothered to even play.
I'll just take them finishing Tuscan though. Like, give me my Tuscan, man.
No, like this is a good this is like a good example. There's been a few maps that have been in from the community that have been stellar. You know, Tuscan remake, that's sick. I love that that's happening. We've had, you know, Canals. That wasn't actually a Valve map, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I want to get on this point though, because I know where you're going, but like I think one of the reasons that we sit in the way we do with maps and with the map pool and with how the Valve are doing it is I feel like they want control over their pool, right? We don't actually have these custom maps in the pool. They're all Valve maps, or at least maps that Valve currently own the rights to, right? That's including Ancient, that's Vertigo as well. They take a super old map that was awful, a hostage map, that they then turn into a decent map, in my opinion, at least for this level. Like, we no longer have caching. That's not a map that they had, you know, autonomy over in the same sense, right? That was FMPone. So what seems clear as day to me is Valve want control over their pool. They want to be able to balance things as they choose. They don't want to be in the beck and call of external map makers, which is a shame.
I know,
which is a shame, but that seems like the argument for me. The fact that they're not using these.
The thing that really does my head in though, like, because I kind of agree with where you're coming from there, is that, like, you know, the mappers are doing all this anyway. Like, you know, they're not doing it going, man, when this gets put in the game, I'm going to be rolling in money. You know, like the maps are getting made and just sitting there on the workshop for a couple of hundred of people, you know, to download and play. And it's like, you know, if they're going to be out there, if the people making the maps want them in the game, well, that's why they're doing it, right? Like, no one's making a map and going, this is just for me. And, like, you know, you want to share it with the world. And I think with a bit more playtime, we've had maps in the pool. I want to just name a few, like Ruby was great. I think...
not for Pro CS, I wouldn't.
Well, you know, with changes, I think it was a good, well-designed map. Canals is another one that had potential, and that was a Valve-made map. There's Abbey was another one that was actually really good, like similar to like a kind of cash vibe going on.
What about Zoo? Wasn't that one?
Zoo, mate, I tell you what, I think that Zoo actually plays better than Ancient does now. Even though Zoo is like a
hostage,
like a meme. No, bomb site map. Bomb site map. It's got the B site in like the lion's cave.
You can't miss
it. The aquarium.
It's at a zoo.
The fish tanks. The fish tanks. I don't know why I thought it was hostage. I don't know. But like that in Pro CS, like the indoor, the A site, not sure.
But I'm not like, you know, that's the thing. If it was in the game, it would get changed and you'd update it as pros are playing it. But it's like my biggest issue with Ancient. I don't know how much you two have played of this, but it just doesn't play right yet. Like, it just doesn't feel like Counter-Strike. I don't know. The angles are awkward and there's like way too many of them. There's too much green. I thought after Cash they would have learned this lesson that
the old Amsterdam
is a terrible color. But there's way too much of that. There's like a bunch of weirdness. It's like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of work that needs to go on with Ancient.
So are you saying minus Ancient plus Train?
No, not plus Train. I just want any map. I'm fine with Ancient, mate. Just make it good. Make me love it.
I have faith.
Well, for now, you're going to have to make do with Vertigo. paiN's tech problems have sorted themselves out, so we can get back into the action. They're 1-0 up, having took the pistol.
A little clutch to get us there. Now the heartbeat's resting, at least for Hardsal. You'd hope. Spend some time. Now rushing towards A and setting up on the short side. We've got a force here from RBG. And they found the first kill. That's a start. Hardsal looking for the B pick. Could find an angle through the smoke. He just misses that cross. But it seems like he's keeping it in mind anyway. I love this move from Chop, jumping above the wood. Very hard angle to clear. If you're looking up as a T, you're going to be shooting him in the legs, not the head. Right now, they're regrouping at B, so they're going to walk into this double setup, and let's see how they deal with it. Hardsal's going to clear the corner, undoubtedly. But how much further will he make it?
Oh, well, that's that. And there's more where that came from, right? They deal with the the kind of bait and switch setup that RBG were attempting to run, and now they get in towards the B bomb site. Good attempt at the hold, but ultimately only good for one. Still a 2-on. Well, all right, lads. Come on then. Neck is all alone, trying to make magic happen. Waiting for this repeak from the generators. He's going to start to swing out now. Gets the information, knows what's going on. The fight yet. Oh, it's a wide swing that gives that fight over. You know, you understand trying to just rush the kill down, but that gives Neckers a chance there. He gets that second. It's all back under control. And now it's just going to be a full eco out of RBG.
Close round, though, at that. One in which you're probably discussing if you want to try and do another gamble if you're CT and buy again. But yeah, nice setup for RBG. paiN obviously clears it, but quick under rotates makes that round very competitive. It's just Deagles, just one Deagle on Hexed, looking for some nice little 1Ds. P250 on Chop, but that's it. I say that, look at me, I'm missing it. Glacia as well with a Deagle.
They've just snuck right by. I mean, the mid player is about to kill the A players. He's flanked them, for crying out loud. Combine in with the short player. Neckers is drawing them in, and they're going to get knocked out by Saphis. So nice and easy. One more man left at the back of B, and he can't even get his free kill. It's a 3-0 lead with a flawless round as well. Probably going to see some bonus round here for paiN Gaming. Will they keep all 3 MAC-10s? If they do, they've got to keep it fast and loose. But even the presence of these MAC-10s is pressure for RBG. They've got to buy helmets. They know there will be some in play at least.
Yeah.
So that's a little more investment.
And that A stack there from RBG as well, you tend to at least have a flashbang if you're not going to do the double boost to kind of see, as you guys pointed out, like they completely missed the fact that it went into the scaffolding area. But not even a flash, but this matters to Nico. There was a game plan coming into it. First weapon round now on the board though. And they already threw it mid. This is insane. I love this. We talked about utilizing a lot of A. Sure, they're ending up on A, but they went through mid. And they weren't ready for it. That was a art style kind of running. Only leaving Glacia now in a 1 versus 3. Very quick round and a molly on top of that as well. Very unfortunate.
That's pretty brutal, isn't it? He's like waiting for a peek. Doesn't get given one. He's like, all right, I'll run in then. I'll humor them. And as he does, hit by the Molotov, stops him dead in his tracks. The bullets slow him down, and he's burning to death. So this is a really good start for paiN Gaming, man. This is exactly what we wanted to see. I'm fully on board, man. This is exactly what I wanted. Nice dominance right out of the gate, and not leaving like a bitter taste in our mouths, like some of the other teams that maybe we've anticipated more from have.
Yeah, and I love that as well from paiN. Like, that's the first weapon round. It's a set round. You can definitely tell. A lot of CTs on their first weapon round, they tend to opt and go and fight towards A. It's a counter strat to that for paiN, running out of mid. So yeah, just love to see that in general. Gets an entry here as well in round 5, and they're back out in mid. It's been some very quick rounds, I feel like, as well on top of it.
I like this, you know, just wide mid hold. This second player who's just swinging out wide. You know, the AWP's getting the bulk of the attention, but as they swing to try and deal with it, Neckers is a little nasty surprise. Won't get a kill from his position, but regardless of that, everyone else is fragging out. So, you know, this is looking like a nice clean anti-eco. This is going to be 5-0. I don't want to write off RBG right away, but, you know, this is as good as done. There it is. They even saved the AWP. So 5-0 on the board. I almost hope we get another technical timeout, if I'm being honest. I have so many things I want to talk about to do with CS, man. I just, it's my passion.
Start unplugging wires, Harry. You might get there.
That would just break our stuff. They wouldn't pause for that. It would just mean Richard has to do loads of talking.
I've been pretty quiet today, actually. Yeah, I've been, so I'm probably due to do my fair share. I'm having
to come in with something.
Yeah, I'm just basically stealing a check at the moment, aren't I? Like...
Yeah. Well, man, you know, North could get away with it for so long.
Stop, they're already dead, Harry.
No, they are, and actually some
No,
of
they're
them are
not. They're
pretty
called
decent.
hyenas now. So
Yeah, they are called hyenas, and they're at the RMR.
Good for them. Hyenas, gorillas, there's
Did
a
you
bunch
see,
of EU mixed
I know, and now
you see
all we need to do is
Stico?
bring back Zoo, and we've got the menagerie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
That's a
my
good
God, there's the link in. Valve, make it
full
happen.
circle.
So just then, we saw one of the players in ladder room spamming the wall. Not many people do it, but you can actually spam short from this position, and there are AWP lineups you can have. I actually have one that wall bangs the
Headshot.
you know the boost in the sight, like you play that little headshot angle up on the boost. There's a wall bang you can do with the AWP for that. There's a lot of grimy wall bangs you can come up with there.
You could throw utility in through the windows above as well onto A, like bounce smokes into the site. We don't really see that all too often.
Yeah,
Just
honestly,
thrown from A, right?
I feel like we're still at like the tip of the iceberg for figuring out like, cool little things that we can see on Vertigo.
Oh, that's a beautiful flash, but still blinded, hits the shot. Wiz gets traded, but he has his teammate as a double setup ready to keep this one alive. Not for long through the smoke, because Zera has control of the site, but these smokes are fading soon, and he needs to cross with this bomb. Jumping up, trying to hunt the kills right now. Molly on either team, pressure, and the shot is hit from Zera. Bomb dropped, 10 seconds, it's a done deal. They're not going to face it together, and so it's an unwinnable round. Finally getting on the board are RBG, and I like that double short side setup. Wiz, I mean, he should never even be getting that first kill, not with a flashbang, but that helps out. It works wonders, and it puts them on the board.
Yeah, aggressive enough where they managed to get the rotates in order as well. It was looking a little bit dicey at the end, but managed to hold on. One of the things we didn't touch upon in pregame was Nekis, obviously former teammate of Henny and Lucas, played in Luminosity for 2 years.
Yeah, that's
we talk
correct,
about the
yeah.
experience. So sure, paiN Gaming, they do have some new names on their side, but Nekis definitely has international experience.
Something else to bear in mind with that is that PKL was his teammate back on Luminosity under, Yell, Cello, Shuz.
Spicy little bang there.
Some history with these players. Yeah, it's a nice little boost as well coming in from paiN to open this round up. Really not what you want to see. Two members alive from RBG last round, obviously having to rebuy, and paiN with 2 entries for this round.
Yeah, I mean, not how you want to start, especially on the FAMAS buy, right? You're already kind of forcing up. You get a round on the board, and this is your reward, right?
And this is a painful slowdown from paiN, right? Just standing still, waiting for that re-aggro. One of the only ways RBG can win this round is by, catching them, lining up utility, exploding off of Crane with a flash, and, finding the bomb. And so they hold off. They still keep their default, watching B. Nekis is finally leaving that bomb site. But actually back down the ladder and grouping at B, rather. It's a fake on top. Sapphire keeping the util there has kept 1 player in the A-bomb site, but we still have Clasia at the back of Tetris waiting with Chop on support. So RPG have made the right read. 20 seconds, can they stop the bomb? That could be massive. They can still win this round through the smoke with a double Clasia.
Nice round.
And he's got them all.
Nice round.
No ace, no need.
And there you go. That is the 17-year-old sensation. That's why they picked him up. I mean, he had some great moments in the open qualifier already. Like I say, only been on the roster 20 days or something. But really, really stood out. And this is exactly what they brought him in for, to get the kills and do the heavy lifting.
Yeah, crazy. Great awareness. Found that little gap through the smoke. Dropped the bomb at the back of B. Couldn't have asked for more. And didn't fall for the fake either. paiN probably going to go back to A after a round like that. And if they do, they've got quite the team to get through. 3 players playing towards the ramp side, already dropping in a lot of utility. Respecting the deep smoke and going for mid control as well.
You gotta love the timing of that, though, right? The entire half takes on a very different complexion if Clasia doesn't come up big, just as Nekis gets that first pick there against Chop. but keeps them in it, keeps them within touching distance. You know, they would have been eco in here now. It was a 3-on-5 for the North American side, so.
RBG tends to rotate a lot, I've noticed so far. Really missing a lot of map control, having to retake it. You see them here actively going through mid. At least I like that. They're doing something with a purpose.
They've lost, eh? It's only Arco there, and that's the re-aggression at mid that's punished. Classier dead this time. Uh-oh, Wildco calling for help. Oh, they've just run up on the site. Names are being held. No idea. The speed is there for paiN with 20 seconds. They're looking for kills right now. Bomb making its way up to the site as well. But Wildco gets given a one-on-one, and he wins it out. This is weird. paiN, they're not taking the site. They're taking far too long. 13 seconds. Wiz still has utility to deny a plant. The molly goes in, 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Hello, where's the bomb? They smoke it. Sapphire gonna get it down. There is cover. They can't stop the plant. And so just about paiN Gaming hold on.
Seem a lot more keen on taking the fights there over taking the control, right?
Yeah, are they going to come to regret that decision, though? If you're taking fights, you better win them, and they will. At the very end, to close it out. Quick double there, and paiN are up onto 6. Yeah, all right, it was a little bit weird, right? Yeah. It was a little bit messy. But in a way, I kind of admire the confidence to just go, hell, man, we'll just kill them where they stand. We won't even bother getting the bomb down. They're quick to adapt, right? When they realize that actually it's not as a simple task as they thought it was. They get that bomb planted. They have the cover there. And then we have that nice little closer out of the AWP.
I like that util combo.
Does.
Sorry?
No, I was saying that's what Safi does, man. He's already had some great moments. I said coming in, he's the player that I always enjoy watching on the occasions I do get to see paiN play, which isn't as much as I probably like, but yeah, just a very accomplished player there. Sort of salvaged round for his team, got the plant and the 2 kills at the end. No, sorry, what were you going to say, Hugo?
I was just saying I like the util combo on short there as well. The molly dropped on the retake by RBG. A really, really nice flash as well. Clears out that close player. They can't get the 2v2 over the line, but yeah, you say they're rotating a lot, Robin. Well, they've at least got some retake utility is what we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got another tech pause coming in as well.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's not a
particularly long one. Yeah,
over.
I think it's just more internet problems rearing their head.
Here's my one more suggestion to CS, right? Something that I think could really benefit the game. Add an unranked 5v5 casual game mode that isn't scrimmage, where you can queue the real maps with just anyone. I feel like the fact that, you know, like if you want to play the game casually with like your mates who don't know anything about CS, the fact that you're relegated to casual is just a waste. Like, you know, no one plays the game how casuals play. That's not what CS is. I think if more people could get involved in the 5v5 aspect, you know, without having to grind ranks and learn all this stuff, you can just get in with your mates and have a mess around. It would only make the esports side of CS more accessible, right? Because you'd be able to look at it and go, oh, well, this is how these 5 people are doing it. Maybe this is how me and my friends should play. Instead, you got casual, where it's like 30v30, and it's like the battlefield of Counter-Strike. There's like jets flying over. Everyone's AFK or spin botted.
Yeah, but I get 150 effective flashes a game as casual, so...
Yeah, man,
sorry,
you throw one flash and it's just 20 from it, so...
Another eco, RBG gonna get cleaned up if paiN Gaming have their way. And right now they've had everything they want pretty much. Grenade, 97 damage off of it. Wildco dead as well. Hexed, and he's just trying to use his util before he dies. It's inevitable, and the spray, he walks into the headshot. Blinded was biggest error. Wiz going up and over. And that boost is terrifying to be on top of. Bomb planted and nothing being given away. They're even hunting. Don't blame Neckers, jumping up, taking his eco frags, and 2 more kills from a 7th round.
Shoot. Oh,
okay.
Yes, Safi, yes, perfect. Just Classier left, and I tell you what, I've been impressed with what we've gotten out of them so far, but 1v5 with the Deagle with no time left. This would be one for the ages. Set up to try and do some damage on these exiting players. With that opportunity going right, it will be paiN Gaming picking up 7. Safi to close it out. And this is looking good. I think the fact that, you've got this AWP firing on all cylinders, that's really going to make a difference. Like these long angles at ramp and at the B bomb site can both be opened up by this AWP. It gives you a lot of versatility. It makes it very, very risky for RBG to try and challenge for ramp control. And that's one of the, like essential ways to really try and pull ahead on this map, is to assert dominance over ramp, make paiN feel restricted. Well, your job's that much harder when they've got a very, very pliable AWPer on the other side looking back at you.
So a take here from RBG. Started with 4 there, and we see it again. paiN utilizing mid a lot. We're walking out of here. Won't be seeing anyone just yet. And RBG seems to be taking this in stages. But it looks a bit, it was looking like they were going to be pushing over to B, but no time for that. paiN Gaming is hitting this B bomb site. 3-on-3 situation though. Klasia with a headshot as well. Biggest Sarah, but doesn't get the kill. Oh man, this guy's nuts.
Yeah. Clean shots. Hex now having to retake it because Zera's resetting for the stairs control. Flash peek, Hex blinded, but he gets some damage off and he knows he has that AWP trapped up close because Zera's coming in back on the flank and Hex should be able to get away. Also, I know he only got 2 there, or was it 1, was it 2? Either way, Klasia looked, again, very comfortable, was dodging the players coming up ramp. Seems like he has very good fundamentals.
Yeah, I think they're just being outread right now and outpaced. paiN, I think, is doing a really good job here so far on their C side with their calls that they have. We see a lot of slow rounds into A. We saw the fast round as well where they just swing. We see that fast mid take where they just rush out and head towards A. This round as well, or the previous one rather, a little bit slower, but out mid, fast B split. A lot of strats here in the paiN Gaming camp. And RBG having to just constantly guess. Not working out for them. They had 2 rounds in the middle, but another eco, some deagles, some armors.
Oh, the mid aggro, the nades in. They don't flash it though, and Bigazera just domes Klasia. He is looking good, isn't he? Great shots out of this paiN Gaming side, and again, very mobile. RBG set up in middle for that util, but now they've grouped back up in B. And the AWP's fired off. Safi won't be there for long. Still have 2 players deep in middle, ready to start working.
And look at this,
Hex.
right? So for example, they had 3 HEs that round for RBG. Valko and Hex still has theirs, so they have a thought process to use those on the A bomb side, probably if the bomb goes down. But they don't have any flashbangs, so I would love to see it as well when you are buying even half buy. Have a game plan coming into it. Try and utilize a little bit more of your people, right? As you mentioned in mid, there was an HE, but no flashbang and a dry peek into it. When you were spending some money, we can definitely be doing some more things together. The rounds are hard to win. You're expecting a lot from your teammates and the team itself if you're only looking for the 1 digs.
Oh, this A lurk. If PKL gets it, it's this site clear. The bomb's walking up ramp right now as well, and they have no idea. Valko just can't get an angle, and jumping up would expose him to the ramp room as well. Smoke's coming over, and he just isn't ready to get close peeked. He's got a nade out right now. There's a smoke drop. PKL moving in, using the smokes as a corridor, but he gets sandwiched in between. It's a trade onto Hex. Valko's still here, dropping his nade while he still can. Oh! He finds a deep behind it. Bomb getting planted, and nothing he can do about it.
There's only one man in the site.
Exactly. Player from B, player from mid, but they're both going to backstab, and there's no one here to stop them. Last thing they were expecting, and Chop gets chopped down, 9-2. And yeah, come on, you can't really blame them there. Not ready for the double flank. Why would they be? But paiN Gaming, I mean, those are the best timings on the flank as well. Both those Ts were in CT spawn together as the CTs left their bomb site. Doesn't get much better than that.
So I went and double-checked something as well. Neck is, I thought this was the case, and I've got it now confirmed that it was. Got like his big big break really in paiN Gaming all the way back in like 20, I think it was 2017, 2017 he joined Luminosity.
Yeah.
So it was 2016 into 2017, right? He joins paiN Gaming, moves on to Luminosity, obviously forms a budding friendship with guys like PKL, and it's kind of nice to have like this vibe of, you know, this is where you started, now you're back here, but 4 years later, 4 years wiser, more experience, and you know, now he's gone from being like the new kid within paiN to one of the more experienced players here.
Back at it after another pause. RBG 2 ops. And an AUG. Another slow round here from paiN Gaming, walking up to A. We see RBG not fighting for it this time around, and it's a bit of a different setup. We talk about the retake potential on this A bomb site. This is a retake setup. Some scoped weapons in the back, but the intent should be to wait for your teammates, utilize some nades, do some chip damage, and then potentially a smoke wall in it with the potential retake. But we'll see. It is looking like paiN Gaming is making their way over to this A bomb site, so we might be seeing it. What we don't want to see here are the CTs just flat out dying and the retake turns into a 3-on-5. It's better to be safe. We don't want to see that. I was going to say it's better to be safe and play it safe. Valko had an opportunity there, only gets the one though. 3-on-4 situation. Still a possibility, but probably wanted to play it a little bit safer there. This could also be a safe call without any mollies from the CTs. Yeah.
Hex was in that Magisk Boy Astralis headshot angle, where, or not headshot angle, but protected angle behind.
You
the
went
pillar.
with the Magisk Boy. You went with the old school.
I don't want to just say you know, Magisk Boy, Magisk Man.
I miss when he was Magisk Boy.
That angle's cool because when you crouch, your model moves and the head is covered by that big metal pole that isn't very spammable, and so you know you can get spammed, you get sprayed, obviously body shot, but you can't get one bulleted. So even though you can see them, they can't see your head, which is quite nice. But it doesn't really work. He's holding the wrong angle. They like wide swing him, and that's the danger of the AUG, the scope. You know, sometimes. The edge of which can block your view if you're not aiming in the right place. So that's what happens. And tended to another cleanup on A, even some exits as well. But with save guns, RBG can buy it again. They're just looking for anything at this point. Maybe some aggression would be nice, right? We've seen on ecos they want to peek mid, and paiN have been defaulting there, but you know, taking some ramp control or getting mid in the mid round. But the one thing that has been frustrating for them, I'm sure, is that paiN are everywhere all the time. They are always coming in on these late flanks, these punishing plays. And even when they've taken bomb sites, they've at times taken bomb sites with 2 players and still managed to get control and get the bomb down. So it's not a lot of options for RBG. They just sat back with their guns again, waiting for paiN to come their way.
Yeah, we do need to see some signs of life, though, right? RBG looking like they're going towards the light, and at least, you know, it's all multicolored and whatnot. But, you know, we need to see a little bit more out of this CT side. Because you might be in this horrible situation if you don't turn this game around at all. If you don't, you know, really, like, bare minimum, I'm looking at a 4-11.5. If you don't manage that, you might not even get a T-side rifle to play. You know, we might never even know what your T-side is actually like. Because you could lose, you know, one wrong round and your money's just gone, and that's it. paiN run away with it. So, you know, it's great for paiN if they're able to get that scoreline. Not so good for RBG.
This has to be a really quick execute from paiN.
Ooh.
30 seconds left, and they're not even in ramp. There's a potential for RBG. This is the one for sure.
It couldn't get much better than this, right? All the openers, still with a short control. Can't get the bomb part with 2 players there, especially not a Wiz dropping it in the open. And Neck is, ooh, that's a knife, maybe. Can't win the round. Take the style points, but no. Can't transfer it. Fair play. You know, he wanted more than one. You can give it to him, but disallowed by the enemies. Would have liked a knife, honestly. but maybe next time.
A solid hold nonetheless from RBG. I was gonna say, if paiN was a little bit fast or quicker on heading over towards that A area, it has been a very good bomb site for them. Might be seeing it this time around, them taking it a little bit quicker.
Yeah, this has often been the case, right? Throwing up this deep smoke, which gives them ramp, and RBG have often just settled back in the bomb sites. That previous round, they have all of ramp, they have all the info, and so as the 30-second rush comes in, like you said, it had to be fast. Well, they just run into AWPs. Certainly doesn't help. This time, RBG strike a good balance between the two. They've got players on ramp, they've got sandbags. Walco's here to cover as well. Wiz has to hit a fast shot. Molly comes in, he's going to smoke it, try and stay alive, draw them in for Walco as well, and he's waiting for his flashes to come through. paiN have yet to show anything here. There's a head getting spotted. Meanwhile, the AWP gets a pick up middle. Or rather, that's Nekiz. Don't know where Safu was, but yeah, no, he must have just come from mid, now grouping back with A. And a man up, sandbags left, and Wiz bringing his AWP back to the bomb site.
Yeah, for RBG, at least they have 3 members here. Hex is also, he's watching in mid, but he could be quick towards A. Walking up towards this A bomb site here. Yeah, paiN had 2 in mid. Safi got the 1, but rotated back on Wiz, misses that shot, but a nice flick. Keeps him alive, and it's the same kind of setup we see from RBG. They do like to have 2 people at this scaffolding area. Nades are coming in, but Nekiz with a kill.
Oh,
Safi with the second one as well. Was looking like a nice hold, but nice patient play from paiN.
Look at the confidence on Safi as well, just right up on top of default, like peeking over the smokes. That always screams confidence, right? Like you're not putting yourself in that position if you're not believing that you're about to wreck your opponent. It is worrying that there's this much confidence exuding out of paiN Gaming right now, and the fact that we haven't seen much in the way of a response out of RBG. I'm getting a little worried for Vertigo, at least. I don't know how you boys are finding it. It looks like paiN are really in good form. You know,
look at the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, hell, dude, take the AWP away. It's what matters most in a round like this.
Yeah, not really have
Has
much.
Plenty of money though, at
on.
least. So that won't do much. They won't know that, but he could have at least dropped M4 to Valko, and he would have had a full set of nades. Still afford himself on the AWP though. He's gonna be picking himself up one.
See, this is like what I'm talking about though, with like the idea though of if you don't reach like 4 rounds, you might not even get to play a T-side. Like if this ends 12-3, for all we know, RBG could have the best T-side Vertigo in the world, and if they're only given 1 rifle round to show that, that might not be enough, you know? So
No,
that's
listen,
kind of
Harry,
heartbreaking.
if they're the best Vertigo T-side team in the world, wouldn't 1 round be enough?
Well, yeah, you know, that's true. That's true. You got me there. But it's like, you know, they might have loads of cool ideas that never get to see the light of day because, you know, you haven't got enough of a buffer in this first half.
Why would he stop?
That's brutal.
He was running back and then he stopped to smoke it. It feels like it's a little lackluster for RBG, getting rolled in the first half. 3 rounds to say, and now we go into the second. Is there any hope for redemption? Only time will tell. Join us after the break to see how Vertigo finishes off.
Well, indeed, that first half of Vertigo was nothing but pain for RBG. They're going to try and save some face against impossible odds as we get back into the action on Vertigo.
2 sets of nades here for RBG. 1 smoke was put. It's one of those where you throw from T-spawn, the lads over at A, and it's a fast A round. 2 entries though here from RBG. What a nice little turnaround maybe, to Harry's point. They might be the best Vertigo T-sided team in the world.
I was going to make that same joke.
Hey, listen, the mental state our player is, you know, if they can get 12 rounds, so can we, right? It starts with the pistol.
Game is never lost until it's over. Especially not at this level, right? You got to be in it. Got to have your head in the game.
That's like one of those crap boomer Facebook quotes that you see. You know, like,
live, laugh, love.
Yeah, live, laugh, love. You
It's
haven't
not over
won.
until it's over.
You can always win until you've lost. So profound, Grandma.
Or a famous Freiburg quote: "If you don't win, you lose."
Yeah, also Ricky Bobby, I think it was from Talladega Nights. So the NASCAR driver, Will Ferrell. Yeah, just saying, Freiburg's in good company.
Mate, Will Ferrell is... It's such a shame, man. He used to have so many good films. Completely washed now.
Does he still make movies?
Yeah,
Yo.
he's like one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood.
Nothing
Just
to do with
churns
anything,
out.
but we haven't had much of a natter today, right? And it's massively disrespectful to talk when RBG just get around or whatever. But I'ma just say that Sherlock Holmes movie that he did with John C. Reilly,
Yeah.
it's an abomination. It's,
Yeah, no, yeah, dude. I tried to watch it because I was like, oh, Will Ferrell, man, he's made a few good films, right? Talladega Nights, Step Brothers. But, mate, I watched that. I watched the first 5 minutes. Oh, terrible. Well, you know, at least he's kind of going like the Adam Sandler route.
And at that juncture, we just want to announce that CS Summit is sponsored by the new Will Ferrell movie about esports
Yeah.
called Skin in the Game.
Plays as a up-and-coming League of Legends pro.
Synopsis: a 45-year-old man child.
Oh.
Whatever, all his movies are the same. Sue me.
I'm sure he's listening right now.
Yep, you heard. Gauntlet's been thrown down. You hear me, Will? They are actually making, by the way, that's not actually a joke.
Yeah.
I think they are actually making an esports-themed comedy with him as the star, or they were. Hopefully it's gone in.
What's the premise?
Something to do with, again, I think it's like literally like what I said, actually, 45-year-old
no,
man
really?
child. Yeah, who ends up in like some big world tournament or whatever.
And I'm sure that'll be real lit and relatable.
Yeah,
and
I mean, not
woke
written by a
and,
bunch of like
current
50-year-old,
boardroom
like
execs.
stinky little boardroom dwellers.
It'll be the one time that all the people on Reddit can use the word man-child and it be accurate. So they'll love that. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Happy cake
the
day.
word.
What a breed, eh?
Happy cake day, oh my.
Redditors are so wild, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize people actually cared about karma. Like, do
Oh, yeah,
people
dude.
actually care about that? Is it? Can you do anything with
Nope.
it? Is it like a future cryptocurrency?
Karma coin.
Karma coin. Oh, there's an idea there.
Basically, when you go on a Tinder date, you're expected to show how much karma you have, you know. And, hey,
Like
baby.
the old school version for IRC points for us, Richard, if you remember that.
IRC, of course, yeah. IRC.
Enter the
points.
channels, you know, you're active, you got a bunch of points leveled up and stuff. It's all the
You
same.
know, never paid for IRC. Like everyone else, whoever used it, never paid for it.
This was the boost I was referring to for RBG for when they were CT, when they had that 4-man stack towards the A-bomb site. That's the boost I was expecting them to do, just so they have their vision and, you know, they know exactly what's going on. You can still have 2 guys towards the A ramp area, but just more so that you have a bit of more of a setup. It didn't quite work out this time around for paiN. At least there was some sort of information play at stake there. They are hitting the B-bomb site here to RBG.
1.5, that'll do. Low HP, the pistol could finish it, but Neck is not a lot to work with. Just the P2K Guardian style going through the smoke, and he's done a lot more damage, but of course the one player he shoots is the man with health. And 3 players sub 20. And if only they knew how low they really were, but it won't make a difference anyway. RBG are going to lock it in. They're building on this T side. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not won until it's lost. Wait, no. Something.
Yeah, that's
And
like
Sappy
another,
just
like,
saving.
just one of those. It sounds clever, right? Slow and steady wins the race. Have you heard of Usain Bolt? Yeah, he weren't doing that, was he?
Yeah, but it's not a marathon, it's a sprint, Richard.
Wait,
Wait,
no.
no.
Hang on, it's not a... Oh, well, you know, I would have said the other way around.
Oh,
Man,
it's all gone south here. Second game of the day.
Get all the sporting cliches in. Game of two halves. Come on, let's do it. Like over the moon, Brian. Let's do them all.
That's all I had in the think bank. Maybe we'll create some in this series. Especially now, first weapon round. AWP on Safi. That's it though. Klasia with a nice entry onto the B bomb site though. Forces a rotation, leaving mid a little bit open.
Yeah, they're not exploiting that though. Hex is just holding mid. Necker's pushed up in B. He's also got his teammate there in PKL, so they have no idea that Classy is up close on the wood. Neckers might clear it after the smoke phase. He's looking interested, walking forward, but there is a player holding from the stairwell. Molly going over. Neckers doesn't fall for it. He doesn't move. Classy can just waltz on through, right, and backstab PKL. Now Neckers walking into his death, but he wins the fight. He should never win that fight. Did he know? I don't know how. Finally, back to A. Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's another one. Add that to your book. And RBG in no hurry, 40 seconds. They might even retreat and go back to B. Chop is still committed here despite that mess that was Neckers finding these kills. And even he has left the B site. He thought he deterred them enough, but apparently not. PKL joining him, and they're going to waltz right back in.
Ooh, they're creeping through, but the flash blinds them, and there's the peak. Chop. Shop is opened up, and the B bomb site belongs to RBG. There's nothing that Big Zera can do about it. Maybe they do have the best T side on Vertigo in the world. Maybe 312 was enough.
This is a start at least. It's from that entry as from Klasia over to the B bomb side, and I like the fact that RBG didn't just quite rush it, right? They took their time, got into positions as well. Nice crispy shots as well coming in from Chop, opening up the bomb side even more. Sure, you kind of did want to go for the chase here, getting that AWP gone, but at the same time, all the rounds count. And you have a lot of money on this side of RBG, so rebuy will not be a problem. And it's 12-7. Here we see the sequence again. Neckers was the one that was low. On that Nico position back at the bomb site behind the boxes.
But this really is a game of two halves, because right now paiN have not showed up in the CT side. They've had gun rounds, they've had a chance, but RBG, glad they got that at least a bare minimum, right? That 3-round half, plus the pistol. And now anything is possible. PKL handing the AWP back to Safi, who's going to leave. Neckers takes B stairs, but not for long. And RBG, it looks like a slow A execute. They've got the util for it, they've got the time. But as more time and more silence goes on, paiN start to pad out the bomb site, third player moving in. And is it even going to be contact? They look like they just want to go in off of a flashbang. There's finally a smoke coming down, and everything starts to appear in an instant. Great mollies as well. Short players are screwed, and the entries come through swimmingly. Big Zera pushed behind the smoke. Can't stop the plant as much as he wants to spam. I feel like it never hits, right? There is a lineup. You can kill.
Yeah, there is something
with an
there
AWP,
for sure. Yeah, if you have an AWP, yeah.
Rarely does anything go through that box.
Yeah, that's a nice excuse from RBG. A lot of nades raining in at the same time. paiN had a bit of a mid-aggressive kind of setup. Weren't fully down the ramp, but got completely caught off guard with all those flashbangs raining in. Another dominant one as well. Don't lose a single member, RBG. And for paiN, I'm gonna go ahead and try and salvage what they got. 3 saved armors at least, so we're gonna be saving some money here. Same thing here. Valko really quick on that push up towards the site as well. Gets the 2 nice quick kills. Second weapon round now from paiN, but they have 2 SMGs still from last round, and it's a fast B take here from RBG. Flashbangs in. Oh, Klasia almost gets the kill on Hartzau. And because of that, a reaction play is made over at the A bomb site. We'll drop Nekis off, but it's semi-good smoke. And it's looking like the reaction play here instead. They're just opting to go over towards B real quick.
Yeah, I like the execute smokes in as well. There's the left side Jenny smoke. Not many teams throwing it, but cutting off any chance at paiN peeking in. The AWP does find a shot on the right side, Cold Zero-esque, but everyone else backing out now in a 4-on-4. RBG not wanting to offer these kills up. And paiN, do they just throw in the towel right now? They not even consider it? The AWP dodged.
But what about Big Zera? Look,
yeah,
he's thinking about
what
it.
What is this? They're boosting? I don't even... Are they getting info?
Either getting info,
didn't have enough.
You can triple man boost there as well to see over. But yeah, they wasted a lot of time there. And I think maybe they were hoping for a kill. There's no kits on the side of paiN as well.
Yep.
I don't know who went on top. Like, if you had the SMG, maybe he can jump shoot and you know, if he's lucky, get a kill there. But without 3 players, all you're really going to get is info. That doesn't feel worth it. Like you said, wasting time. And right now, this comeback is happening. It's here. We have to accept it. Harry called it. The Prophet. 12-9. Flawless for RBG.
Yeah, I feel like it just comes out of as well. They've done a really good job so far. Sure, it's only been 2 weapon rounds on the side of paiN, but both of these 2 rounds, the last one as well from RBG, they've done a really good job taking B early, faked into A. Once you saw the reaction, hey, let's go quick. And again, Chop just runs through that smoke, gets the kill on Nekis, and maybe Wampy see another explosion play here.
Slow down a little bit, right, with this AWP keeping RBG at bay. They try to assemble this boost over at ramp, and that will get them a kill onto Hardzau. He's dropped from the round by Klasia. It's a man advantage taken for RBG, and they don't commit to the B play. They slow it down now. They start to look elsewhere, but in doing so, this gives Safi a chance to reclaim this advantage. Now with Chop on 1 point of health, right? The edge in this round could be going to paiN Gaming after all. Finally looking to break this kind of vow of silence they've undertaken on the CT side. They 12-3'd the half and now haven't managed anything since moving on to the defending portion. Round could be in a safe pair of hands though. A Safi pair of hands over here towards the short side. He's still there with the AWP. Big Zera holding on to mid. I thought he would have had that dead to rights, but Classy, you can't see him to count him out. He's creating space. He's drawing attention away, and he's making these rotates really difficult. So Safi has got to do it all. And with that kill there, trying to get a follow-up, he's going to get spammed out by Chop on 1 HP, by the way. This round is still up in the air.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went back for that, right? He could have just reset and stopped the plant. There's no way Chop could have got the bomb down with Safi hiding out on short, but he re-peeks back in, and now he's left PKL in quite the awkward conundrum. A 1v2 with no kit. Maybe one on the ground to be grabbed, but he's getting walked on right now. Klasia coming in from behind, and he has no idea. More time he spends clearing out short means more time for Klasia to get close, and I think at this point there's not even reason for Klasia to peek. There's no tap on the bomb yet. There's a kit on the ground, but PKL knows this one's done. He's looking to save the AWP on short. It feels like a wasted opportunity. Make it an exit, won't make any damn difference. It's going to be 10 rounds for RBG. What an incredible recovery.
Yeah, and as you said, I do think it's a mistake there from Safi of over-peaking. He gets the first one. Sure, you're not quite sure. Obviously, we know for a fact that RBG got a kill in mid, so maybe he was worried that the guy was already in CT spawn. But this move that he makes right here, absolutely right. All you have to do is stay alive. Even holding the left side angle, you kind of have at least a vision of where one guy is. Definitely giving the round back to RBG there.
Yeah, they definitely know they're in a game as well, taking a timeout to talk about what's going wrong on their CT side. But RBG, massive underdogs, started with a massive deficit. Now suddenly back within touching distance of tying this game up, guys.
Yeah, right. And isn't that wild, man? After such a one-sided first half, like it really looked like this was going to end like 16-3. It all kind of hinged on getting the pistol, but even then that was, you know, just a step in the right direction. You still had a long way left to go, and RPG are actually making it happen. You've got to commend the resilience here, right? Like, their T-side's been looking really good, and even if you're coming into this with like a full-on game plan, because of how unproven you are and how, you know, you're not like used to this. You're not like these paiN gaming guys where some of them have done these comebacks hundreds of times. You know, they've closed out games like this so much. You're not in that same position, and yet still unflustered, undeterred by the one-sided scoreline. They're grinding this one out. Safi's opened the round up with his AWP, but Wiz is waiting, and oh, he's seen him through the scaffolding. There's tiny little pixel gaps in between the two layers of yellow, I guess we'll say, that you can see through, and he doesn't use it. You know, some players will use that to try and kill the short player directly. He just uses it for info and like literally traces the guy through the wall as the peak is coming in.
Now down to a B execute, but the CTs know they've pushed. paiN are flanking this play, so all the B player needs to do is stay alive, but now he's being trapped in. My goodness, he's just fully focused on the ramp, even after seeing Hexed, so now this flank is going to be a little too late, and the fact that RBG aren't getting fights in CT means they're very ready. Nice shot from Hexed, but Trade can't come through, and Bigazera might just have to escape with his gun and his dignity. Tail between his legs, and 11 rounds on the board for RBG.
And
yeah,
they're gonna
be a task.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna hunt him down, and now it should be a tied game, right? I don't think the economy's great on the CTs at all, and you can see on the cams at home there, unfazed over at RBG. They don't look nervous. They look like this was all part of the plan.
I mean, now they got to be feeling it, right? It's no longer, oh, we're getting beaten, but don't worry, guys, we can still do it. Like some of your teammate says that at 3-12, it feels empty. It doesn't feel empty anymore, right? You're the ones in control. You're the ones who around and PKL.
What's going on?
He sits in the Molotov. He sits in the Molotov for 100-0, and why not push off the back of that kill? Oh my God. Get him out of here. 5-on-3. What a recovery for RBG.
Yeah, and look, you can see as well, though, actually it was a better buy than I was thinking. I think I was looking at the wrong bit. But still not a lot of utility here if they want to try and go for a retake. So you wonder if RBG take a site and get the bomb, you know, and what are they going to do here? They're going to have to save
you gamble
again,
at this point. Yeah, you gamble at this point. Stick 3 guys at the one site. If they go there, great. If they don't, you save.
Yeah.
This is just brutal.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Like, you know, you come into this hoping, like, all right, yeah, well, with this rifle round, maybe we can keep the lead. Nah, mate, PKL's going to burn in a Molotov. Bigazera tries to trade and then also gets caught pushing. And now, you know, you're in this horrible situation where you know that if the one player in Nekkers doesn't go huge and take like 3 down, you don't even give this round a go. So Nekkers, all the pressure's on him. He does have rotations, and Hardzao is going to light them up. The push in towards A, cut in 2, and Klasia on the other side of the map, having to move back through CT, is dead to Hardzao.
Yeah, and they know it's coming as well. He's been doing that a lot. And nothing wrong with that when your team win the round and they take the site and you're the insurance policy, right? You're the backstab. You're not letting those CT save their guns. You're not letting them defuse. But when your team fall apart like that in the site, well, suddenly your flank becomes useless. It becomes a liability, in fact. But yeah, what a hold from Hardzao as well. Nekkers drawing them in, allows his teammates to just run through the smoke and kill everyone.
Very good
out of
recovery.
nowhere.
Very good recovery. You know, like Robin said there, the gamble paid off, right? They were in the right place and all grouped up to capitalize, but RBG will be disappointed incredibly at losing that 5-on-3.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Just,
But I was gonna say, let's keep
sorry,
in mind as well. It comes off of, right? Like, yeah, it's a great gamble from paiN, but RBG has definitely been the better team here so far this half. Hex again with a nice kill on Nekish. Sure, Safi gets the trade. Still a 4-on-4 though, benefits the T's.
Got the little booster Rooney coming as well. Chop on the hunt.
Oh, he knows. Oh, he's fallen though. You can jump up. I think that's what he wanted to do. And Hardzow now has to deal with the B play. Safi's in spawn with the AWP. What's going on? Oh no, he's gonna get killed.
Oh no, the timing. He's like, wait a minute.
Wow.
well,
A flank
so
onto a flank.
1 second too early. And now 2-on-3. It's still winnable. Like, they knew it was B. It was info at least, but it's really not what they wanted. And that's a nice plant as well. It may not be for the ramp, but it avoids the Molotov. And they've got deep control as well, so they don't need the safe plant. Everyone's playing around the bomb. Little gap can be found if Wiz goes a little wider. But he's just locking it in, not giving up a kill, making paiN commit if they want to risk their guns for the round, and they do not.
Out. They're out.
Damn. So that's, you know, you may lose a sitter of a round, but that is one way to recover. Poor Safi.
Yeah, but again though, RBG, short timing not there for Safi, but it's another dominant round from RBG. Do a really good job here on the executes. 13-12 now. paiN Gaming can at least be happy enough that they have good money loss bonus still, but not being able to string rounds together is definitely a concern.
And remember, if you're just tuning in, this was a 12-3 half to paiN on their T side here on Vertigo. RBG now looking to tie things up at 13 rounds apiece.
They even had the set smoke from spawn, I think that was, thrown down there. It misses, but it might have been worse. The fast pace out of nowhere. This is quite the change for RBG, and it might work out, but Hardzow holds B, and there's another player to deal with the stairs as well as they start to flood in. PKL gets a spot, and he won't commit to any kind of fight. Two players here walking into the molly even. The AWP in mid, trying to cut off rotates, and it's done that at least. B is now controlled by the T's. This is getting very uncomfortable. Molly keeps PKL out. Safi finds Classier in middle, and suddenly it's all on the lurk, which won't be able to get anything done. Bit of a mess there. I like the pace change, I actually do, but both players coming over construction mowed down. And then at that point, it's just, it's not a guessing game. You know exactly where everyone else is coming from, right up those B stairs.
Yep. As you mentioned, sure, they don't have a lot of rounds to play with, but I do like the change in pace. Just to break the cycle a little bit, show paiN that, hey, we can do a lot of things. Do fast rounds, slow rounds. They have liked to do this a lot though in their openings. Just that, throw a bit of nades towards B. See if we can go for a quick peek. Had some good success there as well. But yeah, pretty much of a default round here from RBG. To that, Smokes comes in, gives them a easier time of hitting the scaffolding area. It's going to be all 5 here now, so watch out for a pretty quick explosive execute here once we get to that point. And it is a retake setup on the side of paiN. With the first one we actually see this series, there's a lot of utility for it as well.
Yeah, when you're set up like this, right, these first initial fights that you could get given are weighted a hell of a lot, right? If you go a man up to play retake, you're smiling all the way to the bank. And if you lose too many players here, if it doesn't quite break even, then you might not even ever give it a go. Luckily enough, we're into this 3-on-3. Safi close. Oh, there it is. We said we could wall bang it. Well, he does land it there. More bullets going to go through, and Chop is dead. That bomb is not going down today. Safi is denying it all with the wall bang. And just one man left on the other side. Safi, can he finish it off with the hat trick? He sees him, and there's the execution. paiN Gaming up onto 15. map point on their map pick, and yeah, you know, it might have been a 12-3 half that's gotten very, very close, but you know, all that matters now is just getting it over the line, right? That's all you want, and they're now 1 round away from it.
Oh, those shots, man. That's why you so often see T's, you know, tap a bomb and then move away to avoid the nades and the spam and then go back on it. But it's default for a reason. You feel like it's the only place with cover, and even then Safi cleans it up. Just hunting the 3rd kill as well. 15 found, paiN. Not out of the woods yet by any means, right? Not had a lot to fall back on the CT side, but finally cracking the money in 2 right at this point in the game.
Look at the money for RBG as well. Such a dominant half they've had. But it comes in the back of 3 out of the last 4. Goes in the hands of paiN, and they're forced on an eco. Or I say an eco, but just very scrappy by. Mac 10s, like a little Deagle and a Tech 9. Heading over towards that B area though, they've had success here in getting the entries.
Ooh, contact. Are they going to boost up again? Yeah, it's the wood boost. You've got to be careful here. Still clipping through the wood on occasion. Not so much the gun models, just the T models.
Yeah, it's a backpack that do it to you, but if you go straight over, mate, you don't got to worry about clipping through. Neck is trying to regain control. Now he's low on ammo as this push is coming in. Safi is trying to make a world-saving play, and he's got it down to 3 surviving for RBG. This AWP has been worth its weight in gold. Neck is to try and put the final nail in the coffin, and it seems fitting that it's Safi to round this one out. 16-12. paiN Gaming take the victory in map number 1. Now 1-0 up in this series. RBG have got to play catch up, but if that second half is anything to go by, they're all right at doing that. Join us for this second map in just a moment.